Hi, this is Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to share with you my plans for my 2023 Dungeons and Dragons campaign. All right, so I'm really excited. I have a clean slate for 2023. I can run whatever I want, and that's very exciting because I had a Sunday game, and I had a probably no less than 9 people were connected, at least 10 people were connected to that game over I think the 2.5 years that it ran. But at this point, I'm kind of starting fresh, right? And so every single thing can change, right? So one of the changes is I'm not going to be sharing the Dungeon Master slot anymore. I'm just simply going to run. And I think once I explain to you my structure, you'll see how I can do that. I don't need to share the Dungeon Master slot anymore. And yeah, so I think that's my initial plan. And I think for the entirety of 2023, my plan is to run this campaign and see what I can do with it. All right. So I'm going to present it to you now. And every single thing I say, the name, the structure, how I intend to modify the Dungeons and Dragons rules according to page 4 of the DMG, which says the rules aren't in charge, you are. And so it's instructing you to change the game itself. Everything I'm telling you, I'm formally, respectfully inviting you to let me know in the comments below to say, I think it'll be better if you do it this way, right? So I'm inviting your feedback. Thank you very much. All right, okay, here we go. My Dungeons & Dragons 2023 campaign is going to be titled Laser Sights and Last Rites. And it is the story of multiple contract killers. All right, so every player will play a player character who is a modern contract killer in IRL. Okay, so the setting is Earth 2020, Earth 2023, with no genre elements, right? No supernatural, nothing. It's literally the story of contract killers. Okay, all right. So each session, so I'll be inviting. So each session, here's what will happen. One player character, right, will come in. One player will come in for 1 hour. 1 hour. I am going to 1 hour Dungeons and Dragons, and the reason why is I'm so excited about 2023. I want to make Dungeons and Dragons as accessible as possible. As accessible as possible. Okay? All right. And I think the less time it takes, the more accessible it is. All right? Because these are dealing with contract killers don't work in groups. It's just going to be one player coming in for a 1 hour session. And in that session, they will be presented with 3 contracts. They can choose any of those contracts they want, or they can choose none of them, right? Now, I'll tell you right now, if I get a player who's choosing 0 contracts more than once, I probably won't be inviting that player back for another session. But I'll put up 3 contracts in front of them, and they will be able to choose any one of those contracts that they want, okay? All right. And then, in that session, they will tell me how they travel to the site of the contract, how they eliminate the person that they have been paid to eliminate, how they escape the kill that they just completed, right? And what they do with their money, okay? All right. There's just one more addition to this. Every single contract killer who is player character will be connected to, yeah, wow, they're blocking every street. Okay, sorry. So will be connected. So every single one who of these contract killers will be connected to the Gray Wolf. All right. Now, who is the Gray Wolf? The Gray Wolf is a legendary American contract killer, known in the industry, right? Known by different contract killers, right? Who has completed 125 kills in his career, right? In their career, actually, yeah. Well, yeah, in his career. Okay. So the Gray Wolf has completed 125 contract kills. Okay. So Um, and each one of the contract killers is requested by the Gray Wolf to answer questions from his daughter, who is writing an aggregate book, right, about modern contract killing, right? And so she is writing an anonymous, tell-all, essentially, about how modern contract killing happens. And she has, and so essentially the Gray Wolf has wanted his daughter to become a contract killer. She says, absolutely not, I'm not doing that. But what I do want to do is I want to know more about you, Dad. And so I'm going to write this book, and I want you to connect me to contract killers that you have dealt with, that you have either supplied weapons to, supplied information to, supplied safe houses to, people who owe you. I want access to them to ask questions. I promise 100% anonymity to them, but I want to write this book over the next year of my life, right? And this is going to help me get started in my life, help me have some fame and fortune. And if you really want to do something to be useful to me, this is what you can do, right? So the Gray Wolf wants to help his daughter, right? And each of the player characters does 100% owe the Gray Wolf. So there'll also be a portion in each hour where the player has questions asked to their player character, most likely in a diner, just the two of them talking, and they need to answer honestly, but they are guaranteed anonymity, right? And that is going to be used to expose information about the player character, not just kind of to the world, but to the player themselves, because when the player sits down, the only thing they know, everything will be done within the hour. No builds will be done beforehand, and the player will literally discover their contract killer as we play when these questions are answered, right? So it's an identity exploration segment within Dungeons and Dragons. That's my plan. I'm super excited about it, right? But I'm eager to hear, how can I make it better? What do you think would make this a better Dungeons and Dragons campaign, right? What will make it winsome, and what will allow this campaign to supply joy and answers? I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Any suggestions for improvement are welcome. Thank you. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.